gained the weight back, and I've been like this ever since. And I have never loved myself more. I have never been better than now. And today we're going to talk with my guests about their confidence, how they got to this place where they've never been better, and how you guys can get there too. We also talk about a little bit of manifestation and the crown chakra, hence why we're called crowned. So, without further ado, this is a featured show, so please be kind and respectful to my guests. Be nice in the comments, no cussing, no vulgarity, no hitting my box, except for my guests. So, without further ado, let's see who's here. We have my first guest. My first guest, he is the host of one of your newest featured shows. It's coming up. He's also the most hilarious guy that you will ever meet. Beverly. Hello, King. He is one of the most hilarious guys that you'll ever meet. And I'm so happy that he could be here with us today. Good morning, Rooster. I will not be able to address everybody in the comments, even though I love every single one of you. And of course, thank you for the gifts in advance. I won't be able to acknowledge that either. But hello, guys. Hello. You guys, let me see the lightning bolts, them plugs in the comments, because this is my guest, Ace Marsh, Beverly.
Hello. Thanks for
Hey,
having
how
me.
are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a beautiful holiday season. We're wrapping up here with the new year with you. You are our last guest of 2023. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm just blessed to be here. Thanks for having me. Congrats on your show, getting featured, everything
Thank
along those
you.
lines, and all
I
your success
appreciate
on
it.
that.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
it.
just happy to be here and be a part of your journey and get involved with the featured show program. Obviously, I got my own coming up as well. So yeah, it's
Yes,
all it's
please
all
tell
love.
everybody who you are. Everybody that doesn't know who you are, please tell them who you are. Morty.
So yeah, my name's Ace Marsh. Thank you guys for all the gifts. My name's Ace Marsh. I am a streamer on here daily. I've been on the app for 9 months, and I have been streaming for 8 months. I am the founder of the Good Vibe Tribe, the TGVT that you see in my name. It's all about positive energy, spreading love, having some fun, and just being a genuine human being, and streamer, and having a support system around you. Other than that, I do have my own show every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is featured approved. So I will be featured in the near future. It's called Heart Rate with Ace Marsh, and a fave party every Saturday that's sponsored by Plenty of Fish from 8 p.m. till midnight with 2 live DJs. So come get your faves up and hang out.
I
And
love
that's
that
me.
so much. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second.
Yeah, you're good. How's everybody doing today, though? How's the chat? What's going on?
Live streaming, guys. Live streaming. Okay, so I want to jump right into it. I do talk a little bit about your process and how you got to this place. So my first question, of course, is how? How did you get so confident? How did you get this to this place where you have never been better than ever? How? Tell them.
Well, I mean, that's a tough question to give you the full answer because I'd probably need about a year to explain it. But there's multiple reasons. I'll give you three that kind of just sum it up. Number one is just going through loss, going through having to overcome some big obstacles in my life. Some of them self-inflicted, some of them also just just roadblocks that have been put in front of me just due to the human nature of what I was involved with. Just growing up and just being an active person that's trying to get out there and always grow and become a better version of myself, not only with my career or my goals or my future, but also just with being a better person to other people and supporting people along the way. Growing up, like kind of to relate to what you said. Growing up, I've always was a short guy, so I'm 5'5" now. Like I'm full grown. I've been full grown since I was like 8 years old. I swear to you. But Yeah. So like being a short guy, I was always picked on. I was never the one that they wanted to choose. I was never the one that you wanted to choose for like the sports teams, all those kind of things. But I had the talent. So growing up, I wasn't as confident until kind of high school, and I started saying, whatever it is, what it is, but we're gonna make this work, and I'm gonna own it and take control of my life. And since then, I've anything that I've ever put my mind to, I always put 100% effort in. That's why I got the ace. I used to love playing poker. My name's Ace for a reason. It's just because I go all in all the time, and that's given me confidence. And I'm all about growing with other people with whatever I do, whether it's on the app, whether it's in business, whether it's in friendship and family, you name it. But like I'm not about being alone. I was brought up to be an only child and never had brothers or sisters, so I didn't have someone to look up to or someone to teach me the ways. So I made all my mistakes and learned from them on my own. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what's got me to where I am today.
I love that. You guys, make sure you are favoriting Ace Marsh right now. And this is Crowns. We are here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Asa, thank you so much for the favorites. Everybody, thank you for the favorites in advance. Make sure you are favoriting the top 3 of the stream right now. Our number 1 is, I don't know her, Miss Smiles. I do know her, Miss Smiles. So you guys make sure you're favoriting them right now. Ace Marsh, please tell us, what makes you feel your most confident? So for me, I always like to give an example. So for me, the hair's not done, the makeup's not done, I'm not beat, but these nails these nails are fleeky, baby. You can't tell me nothing. What?
They're looking
Who is
good. They're
she?
looking good.
She's a
Get them holiday
supermodel. Happy New Year. So I want to know for you, what makes you feel your most confident?
Yeah.
Whether it's
So
physically or
for
inside.
me, for me, the way that I feel most confident is being able to be involved, like given opportunity. Because I'm always going to put myself out there and put everyone else before me, even though I know sometimes I wouldn't recommend doing that. You got to put yourself first. I'm not good at that. I'm still learning that in my life on how to do that. But I'm an empath. I'm a person that loves, like I said, to just bring growth around me, like surround myself with positivity, because what you surround yourself with and like what you hang out with, you're going to become, right? You want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires. You want to, you know what I mean, type thing. So, you put yourself in situations that you want to, be looked at and be recognized as. So for me to be confident, I got to be in a confidence situation. So I got to have people to be there and support me, like just like the amazing people that are here today, just to come and, support me on this show. That's what gives me the confidence, is that someone else believes in me. So it's almost the recognition that I'm doing something good for them.
I love that.
Yeah.
So as long as you can show as long as you can show the people that you care about your full support, then you're like, I'm the ish. I'm that.
Yeah,
And I
well,
love
it's
that.
it's where that. It's where that.
Where
It's like it's
that.
equal. It's equal for me. Like it's not about being bigger or higher or lower or this or that. It's about like how can we benefit from each other to make each other better people.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
You guys make sure you favorite him and go get in where you can fit in, okay?
You know what I'm
He sounds like
saying?
he is the one to be your best cheerleader, and we love a good cheerleader. I want to know for you, who is the most confident person, that beast mode? Who is the most confident person that you know? Who is the person that you might have looked up to when you were younger and was like, that's confident. That's who I
um,
want to be.
it's always been the same person. It still is today. Although it's been tough to believe it sometimes, just because of the relationship I have with him. It's my father. My father's been a successful businessman his entire life. I've been a very, very luckily successful. Not luckily, but I've been a very hardworking to be lucky and been grateful and been blessed to have opportunity. To be very successful in my sales and marketing career, working for from very large Fortune 500 companies and running a big team of people. And the one thing that we just always bumped heads on is that like I won't ever take advice, because if it's something that I want to do and I believe in it, um, you know, I'm gonna do it, because especially when everyone starts telling me no, it's like I'm gonna prove you wrong and I'm gonna show you that this is possible, because
And way.
now I got a reason to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not for me. That's to show them like, hey, You were wrong. Stop thinking that way. Change your mentality. Start manifesting what you want and make it real. Bring it up. Like manifestation is key. Like you mentioned that earlier, and I love that word. I always tell people, manifest, manifest, manifest. I'm manifesting this $1 million chocolate bar, and if we get that by the end of the year, it's because I put that out there in the world, right? So
I tell
my
you.
father was always pushing me to be that person. Now, was he hard on me about it? Yes. Did he ever give me something other than knowledge and like lessons learned? Um, no, nothing else, because he wanted me to do that on my own. So,
Right.
he could have, but he made me earn it. Like every dollar he used to lend me, he would make sure that he wrote it down and kept a
Wrote it
spreadsheet, and I
down.
owed that back. Now, don't get me wrong, one day that's all going to come, but it's not like that. That's not how it's about principle. So, principle for me was always the thing that I was brought. And that's principle and integrity with my old man is just what was always like. I was trying to be like him. He was a hero. Everyone loved him. He's popular. He's involved. He helps everyone. He's always there. There's his times, everyone's got their downfalls, but he's definitely the person that I've always been trying to kind of impress as well, gain his
Yes,
approval. Yeah.
absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. You guys make sure you are favoriting me right now. Make sure you
Favorite
favorite
Queen
me.
Lala.
Make sure
Let's
you
go.
favorite Ace Marsh. This is Crowns with Queen Lala. We're talking about confidence. And Ace Marsh found he has the most confident person in his life being his father, who is a successful businessman. Now, of course, with confidence, there are low times. So I want to talk a little bit about your your low times when the saboteur comes, when that little voice, back of your head that's like, nope, you can't do it. Nope, you're not the best. When that happens for you, what is your process and how do you change that mindset?
I'll be honest with you. Being a confident person on the outside doesn't always mean that you're self-confident and confident person on the inside.
Mhm.
Now that doesn't mean you're being fake, but what that means is, like, when you take on everyone else's burdens and you take on everyone else's stress, like you gotta take all that bad energy in to keep that other energy out there positive, right? So you're really putting yourself out there and vulnerable to energy vampires and things like that, and demons that are going to come and try to steal that away from you because they just want you to fail. And like Miss Smiles just said, like, I'm also my own worst critic. Like I do suffer from mental health. I always have. But that's what's pushed me harder, is knowing when there's people around me that I'm giving something to, and it's not about anything to do with like money or anything like that. It's about opportunity, growth, knowledge, sharing, just like lessons learned, so they don't have to make those mistakes, and then helping them also get to their goals and achieve their goals, and just like creating that like
Absolutely.
family and like that bond with people to do it together. Like that's what gets me through it. So when I go and get in these bad states and go through my times and my low points, they're low, like they're low, like they're tough, and I try to distance myself. Being a man as well, we're known to just kind of not shut down and stay away from everyone. That's why it's a huge reason why men have the highest um, you know mental health rates of
Yeah.
everything, so to say. But for me, it's like as soon as I start reaching out to people, opening myself up to talking to people, or start getting people that are coming and wondering about me or what's wrong with me because I'm distant or gone, whatever. That's what pulls me back together. And it's like, no, people care, people need me. Like I'm a reason for someone else. So if I give up on me, then I'm giving up on them. You know what I mean? So that's what pulls me out of those spots.
Absolutely. It's nothing like your own team, definitely, and your support system. I tell people that all the time. Your support system so imperative. Your support system is so imperative. You know
It
what I
is.
mean? They really are, they they don't know. They don't know just how important they are when they do things like that for us. Can you recall a time where maybe also on the lighter side of the negative side of
Yeah.
confidence, has there ever been a time where somebody has maybe challenged your core values, like it didn't align because of like your ego? So has your ego, basically, like, has your ego ever gotten in the way of your core
Um,
values and somebody had to check you?
yes, a lot more when I was younger,
Hmm.
and It came from arrogance. It came from arrogance. When I was younger, I was more arrogant and I was egotistic, and I learned not to be that person because I hated that person. And people did check me, but I never wanted to believe in it. But as I grew up and started changing who I was and making more mistakes and finding out who I really wanted to be as a person, it flipped. And then people started, because I became this, like, I almost had like a whole transformation of myself, but it went through some very deep times where I was alone and went through some really, I don't want to say mistakes, some really crazy experiences that have given me knowledge to be a better person and move forward in a different way in my life and have different values and different principles that I was focused on. And respect, self-respect, and also respect for just like, humans that are out there and everyone that I'm encountering, not whether they're friends or not. Even an enemy. I don't have enemies, but even people that I don't agree with, I'm still gonna, like, if that person called me and they were the worst person in the world, I'd still show up for them that day if they needed me, because they're humans and we all make mistakes. So for me, like the big thing for me on that is like, you really gotta stay, like, I don't really know how to explain. You gotta stay focused on what your end goals are and who you want to be as a person. And people, what they started doing as I became this really positive, like over the top, energetic, and just trying to always focus on like the one side of the spectrum, like just being on that good side and keeping it fresh and keeping it real, and not getting into arguments and not getting into debates, and just using positive momentum to push every situation away from where it can go the wrong way. As people started thinking I was fake, because they don't want to agree with someone being so positive and so real, so that they start actually deflecting it, and then they start actually, whether it's jealousy, whether it's who knows what it is, a lot of time it is jealousy, but they don't want to see the fact that you're doing this good because they've got something that's bothered them in their life, and then they take it out on you and they make you the problem. Right?
Absolutely.
So that's
Mhm.
been the toughest thing for me to go through, is because it's like that's where I get into my bad spots, is because, like, some of the people I've given my everything to or put so much energy into and tried so hard to be there for and help and just support in life altogether have been some of the people that have stabbed me in the back the hardest, and come and done something that I just never once deserved. But those are the people that also give me the ability to just push that much harder the next time. So it's like I kind of got to thank them too.
Yes, my haters are my motivators. That's always been a good motto of life. My haters are my motivators. Okay, I have three more questions for you before I let you go. I have one of my newer questions that I have to ask, and that is, when you became confident, when you got to a place where you were never better than ever, did you find that you radiated in your masculine energy better? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Crowns. While Ace thinks about that one, we're here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Please make sure you're favoriting the top three of the stream. That's my CEO. It's Big TSA Thursdays. Make sure you go to Time to Sing at 2 o'clock. Then we got Miss Smiles and King Goober. Make sure you're favoriting Ace Marsh right now as well.
Thank you.
What do you think,
And
Ace?
obviously Queen Lala, guys, hit our host with a favorite, please and thank you.
Thank you.
Can you repeat the question one more time, because I think I got my
Absolutely.
answer, but I want to just double check to make sure it's true.
So when you became your most confident that you are now, in the place where you have never been better, do you feel that you have been able to, like, effortlessly radiate in your masculinity, in your
Absolutely,
masculine energy?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I've been the most comfortable with myself ever in my entire life, at the
Mhm.
point where I'm at right now, because I've
Right.
become so real with just reality. I've become so real with who I am. I finally kind of found out who I am. I'm still trying to find out who I want to be, but I
Right.
found out who I am, which was a hard thing because I was always trying to figure that out.
Yes.
And when I say who I want to be, it's not as who I am and who I portray myself when it comes to personality or actions or emotions. No, it's what I want to do with my future. What are my goals? What's my passion? What's my direction?
Yes.
So for me, that masculinity, like that feeling. I'm a natural alpha male, but I'm not an alpha male to try to overpower, be a boss, to try to own a situation. I'm an alpha male because I love being the one to give opportunity and give power to other people, you know. So like the reason I want to learn something is so I can go and take that and let someone else have that knowledge too. So yeah, so that's my answer.
I love that so much. It's a newer question, so thank you for that. I love that answer. Um, last two. I ask these last two to everybody every time. Little, good old little Jack, little Jack of Spades, before he became an ace. What would you tell him so that ace could be maybe at the next step of confidence? What is it that you would tell little you?
Stop overthinking. Stop getting too caught up in stuff that's not worth your energy. And just give yourself more credit for all that you do.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm still saying those things to myself today. So yeah.
That's okay. I that one's always a little touchy. It's very safe here to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because I, like you said, you worked on yourself to get here, right? And you had to do all of that tough inner work to find out who you are,
Mm-hmm.
not who you want to be, not who you were, but who you are. And when you find out who you are, there's some nasties that we don't like, right? And sometimes when we find out who we are, we do kind of got to look back and look at little Lala, little
Mm-hmm.
Jack, and say, "Hey, I got you now." It's that inner child work. So I encourage you to
It was a
look
wild
into
journey.
it.
I'm gonna tell you that. It was a wild
Yes,
journey. It was
look
a
into
wild
it. I
journey. It would
promise.
be a good movie, Queen. It would be a good movie.
I
I'm gonna tell you
believe it.
that.
I believe it. You should get it produced. We know
Oh
too many
no,
people now.
I don't want to expose myself like that, you know.
I know it. I know it. But you know what? It's so important. It's so imperative to become a healed person by going back and saying, "Hey, come on, I got you now. It's okay. I'm gonna be the adult that you needed." So I love that. I love that. I love that you're able to start here with me. I encourage you to continue this
Thank you.
year. There's lots of books about it. Now, you guys, this is the end of the interview. Make sure you're favoriting Ace Marsh right now. Ace, do you have any events coming up? And do you have any last minute testimonies for anybody right now that's just trying to go look at themselves in the mirror today and say, I love you? Do you
Yeah,
have anything that you would tell them today?
yeah. If you're trying to go and tell yourself that you love yourself and you're not able to do that, it's because you're not surrounding yourself with people that love you. So if you're not feeling confident enough in your life that people around you aren't making you feel good about yourself, then you are in the wrong area. You are not doing it right. You are not
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with real ones that actually care about you. Because if someone truly cares about you and wants to see you grow and wants to see you strive to the best and become wherever it is and meet your goals and accomplish greatness, they're gonna push you to be okay with yourself. They're gonna push you to make you feel good every day. They're gonna make you smile. They'll give you some tough love too. But like if you ain't getting that feeling, then you ain't gonna be around the right people and you ain't doing it right. And unfortunately, you're wasting your time by giving away your energy to the wrong places. And it's just gonna evaporate and it's gonna drain you and you're gonna get to a dark place. And the sooner that you can make those changes for yourself and your environment around you, the sooner that the leaves are gonna start turning green and the grass is gonna start growing. So there's that. And then, yeah, when it comes to my shows, guys, I do have my own featured approved show, which will be featured in the new year. I'm not sure which exact week yet, but it will be getting featured. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, right after the rundown. It's called Heart Rate with Ace Marsh. I am on 2 more featured shows today alone. I am on Top Badge Lady VIP's Championship Round of In a Word at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm on Top Badge Scantron's featured show called Dealing with Scan at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't usually put myself out there that much in one day because it's exhausting, but we gonna do it. We
Yeah.
gonna run it up. Fade party every Saturday from 8 p.m. till midnight with 2 live DJs, sponsored by POF. So pull up for that.
Who's
And
your
other than
DJs
that,
this week? Who are your DJs this week?
I got DJ Denaro, DJ Psycho, and potentially DJ, potentially a newer DJ to the app. That's DJ Virus X. So
Virus
um,
X. You guys go make sure you check out those new
maybe Vinny,
DJs and favorite them.
yeah, maybe Top Badge Vinny Vin too. He does pull up and DJ a bit as well. We mix it up. It's all about having fun.
I
Um,
love it.
I've been involved with a lot of stuff on here. I'm heavily involved. I admin for 3 featured shows as well. So if you guys are looking to, be on some shows and get involved, hit me up in my DMs. If you just want some flyers posted, I'm more than happy to share people's events and help you grow. If you have any questions about growing on the app, I'll be more than happy to help if I have the knowledge. And other than that, I just appreciate your time. Thank you for having me, Queen Lala. Appreciate everyone that came here to support me today. And yeah, stay fresh, unstressed, and F the rest.
Period. You can let
Period.
yourself out. I appreciate you so much, Ace Marsh. You guys, so great right now. So amazing. I love Ace Marsh. He's so amazing. He's so smart. And yet I didn't know that he was a businessman, but now that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I didn't realize that I don't have my Instagram installed on this other phone, but I'll share with you guys a little of what I learned this week. And what I learned this week was rejection. I learned a lot about rejection and feminine divine energy this week. And with rejection, rejection is just divine protection and redirection. So anytime you feel that the rejection that you've received is unjust and unfair, just know that it has come from your divine energy, your divine energies, protection and redirection. You need to think and do something different. So if you're having troubles uh, redirecting today, accepting that maybe you're the problem today, then I would advise you to meditate, pray, and think on it, and you'll find your answer. And of course, if you say it from your crown chakra, then you will manifest what you want it to be. Yes. Okay. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Okay. We do have a second guest. You guys definitely know her and love her. She is the ball of energy that every every single featured Monday needs. When you think of Monday, you think of this queen, and I hope you guys can start throwing them sirens in the comments, because ladies and gentlemen, is nobody other than Top Badge Dimples. My sister, Top Badge Dimples. Look at you looking all fine and cute and fine. Thank you for being here, sis.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
Please. Okay, Marsha's
I
blog.
made it. I
I,
made it.
I'm so glad you made it. I saw on your Instagram and it made me laugh. Mama, I made it. I was like, oh, please, Dimples, tell everybody who you are for those that do not know who you are, because that is crazy.
Um, Thank you so much. I mean, like, so I work in the office on Thursday, so it's like it cringes me. So this is when I say I made it, like I finally got a chance to be on my sister's show, and I'm super excited. My name is Top Badge Dimples, and I'm a streamer here. Probably be like 3 years, and I have a we have a great show. I say we have a great show on Mondays, the Daily Dish with Dimples. And my life has been loaded and blessed by God every step of the way. So so Daily Dish with Dimples, what do we do? Is gossip, juice, and tea. I love celebrities. I have a love for celebrities. Queen Lala has a love for celebrities. So we are like the Wendy Williams on the app. So instead of like not like how you doing, is how you dimpling. Yes. How you dimpling. So it's super exciting. I love it. And I'm so blessed because Queen Lala is my co-host. She's been with the show for about a year,
Over a
almost a
year.
year, almost a year. So I
A
mean,
year
like
in
we
August it was.
corresponded. She's like my right hand on the show, and she has a knack for the zest, the info. You know, she stays on top of it, and she schools me on sometime on who celebrities are. But we have meaningful conversation. The fact with celebrities, they're regular people, and they just make more money, right? They more money, more problems. So I love it. But Wendy Williams got her show taken. You know what I mean? But we live on through the Daily Dish with Dimples, and we have a food segment. So that's us. Mondays 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, featured for 2 years now. 2 years we've been featured, and
It's the
it's
twos
been
for
a
me.
good time. Say again?
I said it's the twos for me.
It's a
2 years,
two.
2 o'clock,
Yes.
two
So
of us. Exactly, two, two, two. Dimples,
yes.
you are a big ball of energy. And of course, with that ball of energy, you just exude confidence. Can you please tell everybody what was your process to get to this place where you have never been better than ever?
Girl, my process start. Listen, I laugh because your process. I don't look like what I've been through. I don't look like who I used to be. You know what I mean? So your process is the lower side of things. It's
It is.
lower. You know what I mean? And it's the lower side of things. So, but you remember it because you were the one that got through it. So, how did I get there? It started out thirsty. It started out, low self. I mean, maybe it's not much confidence. We all came here. I came here for a dating app. So I was on the dating app since 2016, 2017. So I was here for years, and I wasn't really happy about it. I wasn't happy about being single. I couldn't stand it. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I was single for several years, and it took being single and me getting used to loving it or liking it or just saying, you know what, you to switch it to self-love. Or how do you people say self-love, but what do they do that at? Like, how do they do that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you don't love yourself. Oh, you don't love yourself. People say self-love, but what do you do to achieve it? What
Right.
are the steps? So for me, it was making a decision to dive into myself and create that, start taking steps. Start taking the steps what it take to actually show that you love yourself, not just say it, but to show it, because your love is your reaction, is your behavior, is your standards, is your expectations of yourself, of others. And even in my dating, my standards were low. I say thirsty because if you're not thirsty enough for yourself and you're thirsty to spend your time because you don't want to be lonely or you want to miss out, it's a situation. So you have to be thirsty for yourself. And when I say thirsty, I'm not ashamed to admit it, like wanting to not be alone. There's a lot of people. I think we forget that this is still a dating app. And there's
Yes.
still a lot of people alone. So it's a real feeling. And I tell when people say they are, I'm like, yo, get used to it. You got to get used to it until you love it. You got to get used to it until you're like, yo, I like this. And I started loving it and like liking it and then loving it. So I'm super excited. So my confidence built from thirst to me being first. Hey, I need
Hey! From thirst to first.
you. Thirst to first.
Yeah.
Yes.
You better
So
listen. You are the queen of one-liners. You guys, welcome right now. If you're just coming in, this is Crown with Queen Lala. Thursdays at 1 p.m. I'm with my sis Dimples right now. We're talking about thirst to first. Thirst to first.
thirst to
I
first.
love that, Dimples. You always have. I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
You
thirst
know
to
me and my
first.
notepad. I'm writing it down.
And
Thirst to
ultimately, you have
first.
to put yourself first. And I really didn't know how to do that. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to do that until really, 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 really last year when my mom was sick and she had an amputation. It was the same year that I got my top badge.
Yeah.
And I was like 242, like, what them cheesesteaks? And, you know what I mean? I was like thick, you know what I mean? So I was like, wait, you're getting beside yourself. So I was extra heavy. It wasn't cute. And I'm like, how do I take myself back? So I started a weight journey because I was almost 250. So I'm 30 pounds down now. My confidence has come into a circulation of self-love and transcended into exercise and a lot of other things.
I love that so
It's a
much.
lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I want to talk about the higher side of confident, and I want to know for you when you because you said you came on here for dating, so I assume that you're single, and I want to know for you when you date, do you find that you are dating confident partners, or are you the most confident partner in those situations?
Girl. So my dating is a little bit different now. So it's a little it's a little different. And it's different now because I've been sober. And I feel as though I need to like you. I think like as I've been sober probably like it'd be 3 months in January, like 10th. So it's a different situation when you're sober and you're dating because you have a clearer head. For me, you know what I mean? You need to be able to think straight. You need to be able to say, what am I expecting? How am I showing up? You know what I mean? Do I like this person?
Right.
Because sometimes if you drinking and yeah, I mean, and it's like, do I really like you? And I found like it's a little different right now. So I'm kind of like getting newer to dating too because it's like me being sober minded, sober headed, and just it's a difference. You know what I mean?
It is.
So it's harder to say that now because I mean I was dating this one guy before I stopped drinking and I had liked him a lot. He was cool. Libra season was on and popping. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
ooh. And girl, I stopped drinking. I was like, no. So, I was like,
It
I
be
don't
like
like
that, sis.
you.
It do.
So it's a little bit different now. So I'm
Okay.
learning to accept that, but I feel like I just, you know what I mean? When you stay focused on yourself or you have an agenda or you have a schedule and you're involved in things, then people got to fit in with that. Yeah.
Absolutely, they do.
So I'll keep
Absolutely.
you posted on how it is, how it is, but
You let me
it's
know.
going, I will. It's going fairly well. It's going
I
fairly
love
well.
that. Now, when you think of the most confident person that you looked up to or that you still look up to, who is that person and what are they like?
Cover, 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 cover.
It can be a celebrity.
So, oh my goodness, this is
You look
tough.
up
I
to
don't know what.
me? That's really sweet to say.
Yeah, she's definitely someone to look up to, for sure. You know what? I do look up to. I will say I do look up to Wendy Williams. I look up to
Right.
her for her have worked so hard, and you know she had I mean has her own alcohol issues or real life issues. You know what I mean? Like she decided to get help. You know what I mean? Like people have to get help. You know what I mean? But she was a just the how she had her start on radio. You know what I mean? How she's been able to be successful. She had a successful show. You know what I mean? So I feel like just being confident in people who have been able to go through life's challenges and still keep going. And you know what I mean? Like, so it may not be money and finances, but it's like, can you get knocked down and get back up? Dog on what's her name? It was the oh my gosh. It's the one that played on Night School. She's the one that just had to do
Tiffany
DUI.
Haddish.
She just had to do Tiffany
Tiffany
Haddish.
Haddish.
Yes. So I'm looking at women who have had rough struggles, who
Okay.
were divorced, who, you know what I mean, like had to come back from a lot of hard things. So you know what I mean, those are the people that I'm looking up to because I'm like one of them and to see them being able to come up and stuff like that. And I say, wow, you've been able to come up too. It's like, you know, get the heck in there. So I feel like women such as, you know what I mean, because I'm like one of them now. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, yeah. So I think those people who just had hard struggles, divorcees and so forth, single moms, I gravitate towards them. And I have a lot of um, just like respect and love, you know what I mean? Because you have to be like, you know, those it's hard times, and even with raising small children and the effects that they have, you know what I mean? Like it's not easy. So for me, it's those who have had real hard times. Yeah.
That makes sense. I love that. You guys, make sure you are favoriting Dimples right now. If you don't have her favorite, that don't even make sense to me, and that is super wild. Make sure you're also favoriting the top three of the stream right now. Right now, my top crown of the stream is my CEO Travel Bay. Number two is Miss Smiles with her gorgeous smile. And number three is my admin Gooby. So make sure you guys are favoriting them right now. Craft Mac! Um, we're talking with Dimples right now about her confident space. And now we're going to get into a little bit of that nastiness. So I just want to touch on it a little bit. We don't give it a lot of attention. We just ask one question about it. And I want to know for you, even though it was probably just 3 months ago, what does it look like for you when the saboteur is in play? And the saboteur, you've been here, you already know who the saboteur is, but for those of you that don't know, that's that little guy in the back of your head that whispers the nastiness of the things that you can and cannot do, and think that he can run your show when you the queen of your show. So I want to know for you, how do you get rid of the saboteur, and how do you get out of that space, and what does that space look like for you?
Um, Getting out of the saboteur has been exercise. It's
Yeah.
exercise, but so physical turns into mental. That confidence all comes from physical, mental, and then verbal. So that saboteur, like I tell myself, you know what, I love you. Like you, I love you. You know, I'm so proud of you. Like I tell myself, I'm so proud of you every day. And I talk to my daughter, and but I say, I'm so proud of you. I look at myself. I'm proud of my butt. I'm proud of the what I've worked I put in. You know what I mean? So you have to be your best cheerleader. Cat Williams said, you have to stay in tune with your star player. You are your star player. So I always tell myself I love you. I say, you know, I'm proud of you. And you know what I mean, you could do this. You have to be your best cheerleader. Can no one, you know what I mean, cheer you on more than you, because you can't expect people to do it. You can't expect people to make you happy. So you have to have that verbal, that self-talk. You have to do those things, and they get continued by me exercising and by me working on myself. By my daughter saying, "Oh wow, mom, you look different, like looking leaner or slimmer." So it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing every day, but it's got to be verbal. You have to talk to yourself. And you have to be okay with talking to yourself out loud. And I listen to Joel Osteen. Thank you. I love me some Joel Osteen. Yes, I listen to him on podcasts. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
like trying to make sure I stay in a routine, because you have to, whatever you're bringing in, you have to bring in. It's the input, it's the output, but what are you taking in? Yeah. So I love him. So my confidence and stuff like that, it just gets recycled. And I'm the recycler.
I love that. I'm the recycler. I love that so much. Dimples, I just have these last two good questions for you. I've been really touching on, like I said, I'm learning this week about rejection and masculine and feminine energies. So I want to know for you, has there ever been a time where you had to, number one, has there ever been a time where you had to have your ego checked? And then I also want to know, in your confidence, your feminine energy, have you found that when you've become more confident, that your feminine energy has also radiated higher? So first and foremost, your ego, has your ego had to been checked by somebody before because you were just too arrogant?
I think, you know what? I think for me, like, and I never really used to talk about it, but I think a part of being better is also admitting different things. My drinking. When I used to drink, like sometimes you have the moments, you have a good time. You may not remember some things the next day. So it's like, yo, Dimples, like you may want to check that, or you know what I mean? Like, so I think for me, those things, that's one of them that was checked. But I mean, sometimes and that's why I do love celebrities, because they have real problems, whether it's mental health, drug and alcohol, and things like that. But there's a lot of, we drink a lot on this app too. You know what I mean? And drinking was really one of those things where maybe I felt like I maybe had to have that time to have fun or all those other things. But definitely being checked on that sometime, because you don't remember, or you're like, yo, did I do that? You get real Urkel on them. So that's one of the things that was checked, and I thank God for just being able to be stronger and wiser and being able to move and feeling good. Femininity, uh how was my femininity?
So when you've become more confident, as you've gotten more confident, have you ever did you notice that your feminine energy also radiated higher? So as your confidence got higher, did your feminine energy also get higher?
Girl, big time. Let me tell you, we're
Yes.
gonna close out because I know, yo, this TSA Thursdays. I'm
Thursdays.
listen, it's the big Thursdays.
Big
Yes,
Thursday.
big. Yo, I'm on my modeling career.
Yes,
So
you are.
it's a big thing. So I started just saying, like, I've always wanted to be a model. I did my first photo shoot January of this year, and I said I want to kick it out. So my confidence is going through the roof when you can, be able to, and when you work for it, you stay focused and committed. So I mean, it's been going through the roof. I submitted. I've had auditions and interviews, and about to line up some photo shoots. But I have agencies that want to work with me. They feel the attitude. They see this good old $100 streaming professional light that I
Hey.
got. They see the persistence. I'm telling y'all, get your 18-inch. Do not go down the inches on the ring light. They go up past 9 and 11 and 12. Get you an 18-inch. You understand? It sounds real big because it is. Get the 18-inch. So
Yes.
the confidence
Tall
is
one.
huge. It's been exuding, and it's helping me with my modeling career. But
I
being
love
the
that.
person I've always been, so I'm pursuing it hardcore in 2024. So yeah, it's amazing, like really amazing. I'm getting yeses, so I'm excited.
Ooh, it's the yes for me. Dimples, I want to know, last question. I ask everybody this last question. You guys, thank you so much for coming today. If you guys could have been anywhere on the app and you chose to be here with us, and I appreciate you for that. Make sure you're favoriting Dimples in the top 3 of the stream right now. Thursdays, 1 p.m., it's Crowned with me, your host, Queen Lala. Now, make sure that you guys be good for these last couple minutes, okay? We got 4 more minutes of this feature. Dimples, I want to know what you would tell little, little smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, little smiles, little smiles, to get Dimples to the higher level of confidence. What is it that you would tell her to get Dimples there now?
Mm. Um, you don't always have to fight.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to fight. You know what I mean? Like, you don't always have to prove yourself. You have to, have that belief in yourself. And once you have that belief, and you don't have to have other people accept you because you've accepted yourself. You know what I mean? And a lot of fighting or kind of like standing up for yourself or defending yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so defensive. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
don't fight so much. You know what I mean? Like, work on, building that confidence, because it's like you spend so much time fighting and having people believe you or whatever when you're not really focusing the energy on yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's the big one. What's what I told her? Just to continue to tell you that I love you. You know what I mean? Start earlier. I love you. You know what I mean? Practice, learn.
starts me.
I would teach her self-love earlier. Just self-love earlier, and tell her how to do it. You know what I mean? I would teach her how to do it. What do you do? You know what I mean? I would tell her, don't lower your standards. I would tell her, you know what I mean? You're never alone, that you have to enjoy your own company first, and that you won't alter your standards, your expectations, your value, or your worth. You know what I mean? Like, I would tell her you don't have to do that. You can actually have your own standards and be okay. But yeah, definitely learn about self-love, not lowering standards, knowing your worth, and that you're valuable. You're super valuable. Yeah.
Thank you, Dimples. I appreciate you so much, sis. I'm so excited that I finally got you on my show. I feel so exclusive right now. And I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you today and every day. Do you have any last minute testimonies for anybody that is having a problem just looking at themselves in the mirror today and saying that they love themselves? And then, of course, if you have any events going on, please plug them right now too.
Okay. You know what? It's a choice. it's a choice. Loving yourself or deciding to do that is a choice. It's a voluntary choice. It's a decision that you have to make for yourself. And then it's okay. And that you're like, you are waiting for you. You are waiting for you. So if you can connect to yourself and just say, hey, wait, my best self is waiting for me. My best self is waiting for me. You know what I mean? Like, so I just encourage you to know that your best self is waiting for you. It doesn't matter how old you get. You know what I mean? But your best self is really waiting for you. And be it's waiting. It's waiting and it's there. But stay positive. Please. You know what I mean? Just, think about half full. A lot of times we live half empty, live half full, live half full, live half full. So uh our show is coming back this Monday, January 1st. Yes, January 1st, 2024. We are kicking off. We are kicking off 2024 the first day on Daily Dish with Dimples, and that's Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all can usually catch Queen Lala. Like she does the Weekend D. She is the correspondent of the Weekend D, but we are coming back in full effect on Monday at 2 p.m. So I'm super excited. And that's the event that we have going on. I just can't wait for next year, and I'm excited for what it's going to bring. So thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to come back. Like this
I
has been
can't
great.
wait to have you back. This was so good. Nobody's used to calm Dimples. I'm used to her, so I know y'all are shocked right now. You guys, favorite Dimples right now. If you don't have her favorite, you don't have me favorite, and that don't make sense.
Yes. I love you so much. I'm
I
super
love
proud of you.
you.
You
Happy
are
New
doing
Year.
it.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Happy
I love
New Year. 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
I love that.
Yes, that was perfect timing, G King. Thank
It
you.
is. I'm
Dimples,
so
Happy
proud
New
of
Year
you.
if I don't talk to you. I know I'm going to talk to you,
Yes,
but Happy
I
New
love
Year if
you.
I don't see you before then. And I
Of
love
course.
you and I appreciate you. And you already know, you're the
I
queen of
already know.
daytime. You're the
I
queen
already
of
know.
daytime in these Meet Me streets, girl.
Yes.
I
I love you so much. I'm so
love
proud of you.
you.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you so much. Happy
Thank
New
you
Year.
all.
Go ahead and
I
let
love you
yourself
too.
out, sis. Just like you, I'll never kick you out the box.
Hello.
Never
Mwah. Hello.
ever.
Thank you all.
Bye, Dimples. You guys. It is our last crowns of the year. Right now it's 2 o'clock, so you guys better get over to Time to Sing with Travel Babe. But before you go, I just want to let you know that I love you. And I'm so happy that you're still here. And I am so happy that you're going to make it into 2024. I want you to speak everything that your heart desires for 2024 straight from your crown chakra and manifest it. We are going to have an amazing who I look up to. I hope you guys have a blessed and safe new year. And I will absolutely see you in 2024. I'm so happy you recorded. Thank you. I will see you guys